What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Dweeb Factory. My name is Bo, and on this episode of Game Talk, it's just me. So if you don't like me, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have me this week. Something special that we have, very special, dear to everyone's hearts. Something that, a game everyone absolutely loves, that the company just puts out so many great games, is actually Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And we're going to have something about Assassin's Creed Syndicate that you're absolutely going to love. Something special about it is basically that I like how this is actually news. We're basically going to have the list of achievements was released. And the list of achievements, there's some cool stuff you can do that takes place in an unexpected location. Which might mean that you have to do some Cockney rhyming slang. I don't know. Maybe pound a lot of Guinness. I don't know, even though that's Irish, but it's fine. The next thing we have up is going to be Wolfenstein New Order. Now, let me get her name right. Alicia Alec Bach, blah, Claude, Carouse. Dude, it's a rough name, but anyway, Alicia. Let's leave her at Alicia. She's the voice actress for Anya in Wolfenstein New Order. And what she basically did was, in an interview this past week, or I think a week or two ago, or something like that, in an interview, she decides to basically let it slip that there's another Wolfenstein coming into play, whether that's New Order 2, New Order, The Reckoning, New Order, whatever. It's Wolfenstein, baby. Got it back. Our boys back in the old days are bringing it back for us, so hopefully it's going to be great. New Order was a lot of fun. If you didn't play New Order, go play it. Play it on baby mode first, and then go play it on, like, hardcore psycho mode. That's a lot of fun. See all those crazy, like, Nazi robots and stuff. Next thing we have up is going to be that there is a female role in the new Zelda game, apparently. Whether this is for live action or for, like, just Zelda in general, the game, I'm not sure. But the lead guy, his name is Beat Takeshi Takasumi Kawasaki Yamaha Suzuki, says that, well, he didn't say anything really. All he did was discuss his ideal candidate for being in a live action role. But it's also rumored that they're going to have a female role playing Link in the new Zelda. How that's going to work out, I have no idea. How it makes any sense, I have no idea. Maybe we're going to have a little bit of an interesting female saves female kind of role. Maybe Zelda this time can be a dude, and we're switching the roles and giving females... Never mind, I'm going to dig myself a hole. Minecraft is up next. They're coming out with a story mode, which is pretty interesting. You go and just punch trees for a living and do it to the tune of a story. It's going to be released in October, next month of 2015. I don't think this is influenced by Marcus Pearson at all. Person, the guy who was really depressed on Twitter recently. I don't know if this is going to be released by him or anything like that, but basically there's going to be a new Minecraft story. Those guys, because we know it's like a Swedish game or whatever. I don't know. The guys at Minecraft like Chronos. We know that. So there's going to be a new story, which is kind of intriguing. I'm not a Minecraft guy, but if you do play Minecraft, you do know that it does sink its teeth into you and can keep you there for a while. Now, this is one of, I guess, many campaigns. What they didn't say how many story chapters or campaigns, whatever, they're going to release. All they said was this is going to be a first chapter in that, story mode. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. I don't know if it's going to be released on just about everything just yet, but I do know PC for sure gets it. So speaking of PC stuff, we're going to move on. PS4 price cuts, which have nothing to do with PC, are the Xbox head in North America pretty much said, we expect that there's going to be a price cut for PlayStation 4s in North America because we're doing so many awesome things. We're going to have so many awesome, crazy things going on with our new controller. We have our new, I don't know, like other crap that they're releasing, all these other games and stuff. PlayStation 4 is in trouble. Dude, what's funny is PlayStation has sold way more copies than Xbox One has. I'm just saying. Now, let's also look at a few other facts. The fact that The game will have been out 1 year. Or not the game, I'm an idiot. The console would have been out 1 year by the time like the holidays come around. So you really think there's going to be a price cut? Of course there's going to be a price cut. It only makes sense because it would have been out 1 year. Plus, PlayStation is coming out with also some of the what are they called? The 1 terabyte, systems, and there's a lot of these other special edition systems that are coming out that are all decorated. The 20th anniversary system and everything. So, which is already out, but it only makes sense for that price to drop when the holidays are coming around, especially Black Friday stuff and everything. So he's trying to attribute it to what Xbox is doing, and they're doing everything right. But what it really is it just makes sense for them to cut prices in order to keep sales up over the holidays. Let's look at that logically. Next thing we have up is going to be the Xbox Elite controller. Speaking of Xbox stuff, Razer already made an awesome Xbox controller. If you don't use Razer peripherals, you should check them out. But they already made an awesome controller. Xbox decided to make their Elite controller. And what that pretty much means is that only the best guys on the planet can actually use this controller, right? It's got some triggers on the back. You can map buttons differently, so you don't have to just use southpaw and regular. There's all sorts of other crap. So there's a lot of... I don't even know how to put it. There's a lot of things you can do with that controller, but I mean, with the triggers on the back and Razer already putting out something else, I don't know if it's that special. I don't know if the guys at Xbox actually trust for this, I don't know, for their player base to actually do the research and find these extra controllers. But for the price they're selling it at, you might want to look at Razer. Just saying. They have a Sabertooth for the 360, and they have some other stuff coming out also. It's specifically geared toward esports style playing, which means you psychos that like to have buttons in certain places, you can do that. You can interchange those buttons, whatever, put different things on there. Fantastic. That is just for you. But we're going to move on. Star Fox. So Star Fox was put on the back burner, I guess. We know after seeing all the footage we saw at E3 and the release trailer and whatever, the cinematic, all that stuff, that it's actually the first true sequel, the first true lead, follow-up Star Fox game to the one on N64. Now, here's the problem. They delayed it. Now, it's a Nintendo game, so I don't know if they just need more polygons, if maybe they needed to take away polygons, not taking away from you, Nintendo, but if there weren't a certain amount of polygons that they needed or something, but come on, unless they're adding more stuff and they're just not going to release DLC for it, that's perfectly fine. Tell us that. But for a game like Star Fox that they already had pretty polished at E3, 2015 would be a fantastic time to release it. I'm assuming, this is what a lot of games are doing, if they're not coming out during the holiday times, they're coming out during the spring or early summer, so people can not have lives during the summer, just play video games. So I'm assuming they might do something like that. Let's just look at it logically. That's probably the time that it's going to be. The March to May time is when it might be released. Now, I'm not saying I have information on that, just saying maybe. Now, Dark Souls. If you've ever played Dark Souls, you have died, all right? Now, not only have you died, you have died a lot, all right? The first, special edition of that game was called the Prepare to Die edition. Now, so Dark Souls 1, great game, right? Really hard, especially when you play that wolf guy. Couldn't beat him. But was that Dark Souls 2? I don't know. But Dark Souls 2 rolls around, right? They just did a graphics upgrade, new story. It's pretty much, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So they're pretty much doing the same thing for Dark Souls 3. Now, I think it was at Gamescom. They didn't release anything at E3, but at Gamescom, what they did, which is in Germany, they had a ton of footage, or gameplay footage, for actual Dark Souls 3, and the background looked wonderful. There's a storm going on. It's just, now current gen, not next gen anymore, but it's just the current gen graphics that are in there, and it looks fantastic. I love Dark Souls. I'm ready to get my butt kicked. I'm ready to have all the really hard bosses and everything. What I'm mainly excited for is to kill all of them in one hit, just so you know. The next thing is Need for Speed. If you kept up with the Need for Speed news this week, it's capped at 30 frames a second, okay? Now, on console, not PC, thank God. On console it is. All I have to say about that is you should have bought a PC, baby. But, sorry, for you console gamers out there. The main thing about that is people are getting up in arms about that. Let's look at this logically. If you're driving 100 miles an hour down the streets of whatever city you're in, away from a cop, or you're racing a guy, you really have no need to see everything at such a wonderfully smooth, beautiful rate. There's absolutely no reason. You're going 100 miles an hour, and most likely they're going to blur the edges in the game anyway, like they have in the last couple of them. I mean, come on. This would only apply to a game like Forza. This does not apply to Need for Speed, where you're in really tight areas, not open areas, but really tight areas, and that, you know, blurs by and stuff to really immerse you into that experience. So, at the whole cap for 30 frames per second thing, and people on consoles are up in arms about it. Let's look at this logically. They might have had some software issues. It probably didn't make sense, and when they played it, it probably still looked fantastic. Now on PC, that doesn't apply to PC, so Master Race. I don't know what to say about that. Kingdom Hearts. If you're like me, you've been playing Kingdom Hearts for the last decade. You've played it, the little card game thing they had for DS or whatever it was on. I think it was Game Boy Advanced also. But, you know, the handheld games, they had the console games and everything. We've been waiting for that final follow-up to Kingdom Hearts that we've wanted. And Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, and we were so excited, but not yet. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 was announced. The final chapter of the prologue was announced. Now, I don't know if they were developing Kingdom Hearts 3 and were just like, crap, we don't have enough time to do this. Or, well, we don't, it's not, well, we don't, I don't know if it doesn't look good. Sora's boots aren't big enough. You know, whatever. Donald Duck's bill isn't big enough. Maybe Goofy's not goofy enough. Whatever it is for them, I like prologue games, but pre-sequel from Borderlands really made me realize I don't. Yeah, drink everything out of a Venom mug. It's great. Loot Crate, guys. But I don't know if you ever played Borderlands pre-sequel, you know you were really excited for the next Borderlands. Oh, this is going to be the filler for Borderlands 3, even though it wasn't. It's between Borderlands 1 and 2. But I don't know if you were excited for something like that, but it just didn't do it justice for me. It didn't quite sate my appetite for that. And I hope Kingdom Hearts actually does do that. Now, granted, there's a lot more time between the last Kingdom Hearts game and then, you know, this one. A lot different than Borderlands 1 and 2, and also Borderlands, maybe Borderlands 3 will be 10 years from now. But, you know, it's a different scenario, so it's kind of hard to compare them. But at the same time, we don't want that. We want Kingdom Hearts 3. But who cares? We're excited. Metal Gear Online is going to be released on, let's make sure I have this date right, October 6th of 2016. 15. So next month, here in about a week or two, we're going to be able to play some Metal Gear Online. If you watch the, what's it called? The trailer for it, what's funny is a lot of the stuff revealed at E3 was actually from Metal Gear Online that they released. But anyway, if you watch the American, you know, what was released to us from Konami, it's really staged, really awful looking, in my opinion. Everyone's like, oh, it looks so cool. The game will be nowhere near that cool, guys. The game will be nowhere near that great. No one is going to be that in sync. No one's internet is going to be that great that everyone's going to be that in sync, okay? Watch the Japanese version. Go to YouTube, find it, Metal Gear Online gameplay. Watch the one where a bunch of people are screaming at each other in Japanese. Now, I hate when people are screaming at each other in Japanese. No offense to the Japanese. Sorry, guys. I just can't handle it. But that gameplay looks awesome. There's some chick running around in some one-piece bikini with its thong style or whatever, and she gets shot in the face with a shotgun. Someone else has a grenade, and they punch someone with it or whatever. It looks awesome. That looks fun. It's chaotic. it's now you would think a third-person shooter PvP would be a little bit, I guess, looked down on, but if you've ever played Gears of War online, it's not as slow as Gears of War. It's definitely not as brutal. I don't think anything is, but it's not as slow as Gears of War, but it's definitely the same amount of action. It's a lot more nimble than Gears of War is, but it's going to be something that is definitely a change, a breath of fresh air to how PvP shooters are online. So that's some stuff to check out this week. We had so much more news, but we couldn't fit everything in. If you want to follow up on a lot of the news and a lot of the other game talk, go ahead and listen to my podcast. It's on SoundCloud, game-therapy-podcast. Okay? SoundCloud.com/that. Go ahead, check it out. It's just me talking about a lot of the other things that I have to say about games because we don't have a lot of time here to cover everything that we find in 1 week. But that's where you can find a lot of the other gaming news. Follow me on Twitter at schmadams_445 like you saw at the beginning. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Watch the rest of what we have to say on Dweeb Factory, all of our movie talk. We talk about some comics. We talk about everything else. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We good?